everyone. Welcome to this beautiful workshop. Today, we're going to present to you some of the different kind of outcomes that we have get in the recent years in the business development group. So it's a pleasure for me to be here. My name is Angie Ruiz. I'm the sales manager at eduNEXT, and with me is this beautiful team.
Hi, my name is Huthmacher. I'm the community manager for the Open edX project and the Axim collaborative.
Hello, my name is Nataliia. I'm from RaccoonGang and I'm business development manager.
I'm Vineet Manuja. I'm the founder and CEO of TitanEd.
And I'm Stefania Trabucchi, a co-founder of Abstract Technology in Germany. Welcome.
Let's see your video.
Yay! Yeah, you can subscribe.
Welcome to this amazing workshop. It will be a really long session, but we're going to make our best to make it very, very insightful and very interactive. So be prepared because you're not going to stay there just sitting and watching. You need to participate. And the idea is that this session is about coming together as a community to align around the strategic priorities that will shape the future of Open edX. So here we are to identify tangible next steps that we can take together. Your voices here are key, and every insight shared today will help us to define where we go next, not just as a product, but as a movement. Welcome. So, again, this is a talk that is a strategic activation for the next 120 minutes. We're going to build the Open edX future together. I will tell you the agenda very briefly. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about the purpose. We're going to have an interactive activity. We're going to have a video about the general landscape of the EdTech trends. Then we have an introduction about our working group, which is the business development working group. We're going to have a recap of the last years, and we're going to see where are we now. Then we're going to see a little bit about the proposal and product review, some metrics we have for success, and the go-to-market strategy. Then we're going to have a discussion and very insightful conversation about the Open edX global footprint and about our competitors. And finally, we're going to define the next steps together. So I will invite you to imagine it's 2028 and the Open edX has become the go-to platform for inclusive, innovative learning. So what do you think we do right now together? I will invite you to go and please come. Come to the wall after you have the ideas on mind to paint here. What do you think we have made good today to be in 2028 the go-to platform for everyone? So either if it's integrations, work as a team, collaboration, development, whatever you have on mind that you think is key, I will invite you to come here, take our paintings, and participate. So, anyone, you can come. The idea is that we make this together. So, let's start for us. If someone maybe doesn't want to paint, but maybe want to participate, I have the micro open to invite you. I have many invitees here. I have people from Thailand. I would love to see if you have any perspectives on this. Do you want to participate? Welcome.
Thank you very much. Anushai from Thailand. Yeah.
What do you think will be the way that we can go to that point that in 2028 we are the best elements?
Okay. Based on my the platform that we implement in Thailand, we try to interconnect. In Thailand, we have for Thai MOOC, we are the national platform, but we also have university platform.
Okay.
So how we can interoperate together? For example, if they have the course in their platform, how can we integrate it to become the national catalog, national online course from all the platform from the university.
Yeah.
So it's a unified system, so the learner have a one stop to look up all the content from all university in Thailand.
Nice.
Just put it.
Anyone has any other comments regarding that? No? I think what you mentioned is great. I mean, we have talked a lot about how to integrate Open edX in different ways, but maybe we haven't talked a lot on how to integrate different Open edX platforms per se together. So I don't know if someone technical from here will give us the answer of how to do it, but that's a really good point. Like, as we already have different initiatives around the world, how we can collab together as a community to make possible, for example, to share courses or catalogs between all those platforms, right? I think it's very interesting. We're going to see this around our presentation. We have 5 minutes left, and we're going to start. 5 minutes left for the activity. I will start sharing with you some of the things I'm looking at them at the wall. So here we have innovation, flexibility, UX, and where is UI? Principal AI.
Tahir actually wanted to draw the Edley logo. I told him that there was a price for that. You need to pay for that.
You need to pay. You need to pay a fee if you want to put your logo here. Mobile. I like this. Someone puts a circle and it says we need to be closer. So I don't know what that means. Who want to explain it? It says closer. You haven't finished already. Okay. Closer to people. Okay. We need to work together more. Features nobody else has. Marketing, and very big. We need to have better marketing. Easy course creation, I agree. AI to motivate students, okay. Personalization, customization, easy to customize. AI for specific features, okay. Ally, does it say ally? Okay, accessibility, and open to any object. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, everyone, for participating in this activity. We're going to take some pictures after, because what you write there will be our future for 2028. It's our statement. Okay. So now I want to present you a short video I have prepared for you to talk to you a little bit about some specific e-learning trends, because let's be honest, there is too many trends. But let's focus on the ones that actually I think are more aligned to our ecosystem. Only 5. So I don't see them. Yeah.
The future of learning isn't arriving, it's already happening. As the Open edX community, we are not just observing change, we are building the foundations that make it possible. In this video, we'll explore 5 real data-driven trends that are shaping how we teach, how we learn, and how we certify knowledge, and how Open edX is positioned to support, extend, and grow with them. Trend number 1, AI-powered personalization. Artificial intelligence is changing learning from smart recommendations to real-time feedback. AI is becoming essential. Open edX isn't AI native, but it's AI ready. Its open architecture enables integrations with AI copilots, analytic tools, and adaptive systems through SAPI and LTI. The opportunity lies in defining what ethical, open, community-driven AI looks like and building it together. Trend number 2, competency-based education. Competency-based models are gaining momentum, especially in skills-focused and career-aligned programs. Open edX supports elements of CBE like mastery progression and conditional release, but lacks full support for skill mapping, dashboards, or evidence portfolios. It's a work in progress, and the community is well-positioned to co-create. Trend number 3, stackable micro-credentials. Learners want recognition they can use immediately. Open edX already enables modular certificates and integrates with platforms like Badge and Credly. What's missing is a seamless credentialing ecosystem, digital wallets, verifiable badges, and pathways that connect directly to employment. The foundation is there. We just need to take it further. Trend number 4, immersive and scenario-based learning. Immersive format from simultaneous to 360-degree experiences are proving to be far more effective than passive content. OpenEdX can embed this type of content via LTI and WebServer, but to scale it, we need better authoring tools and more responsive learning design. This is a frontier where collaboration can lead to powerful results. Trend number 5, experiential learning and branded workshops. The most impactful learning today happens through real-time, high engagement experiences, workshops, bootcamps, cohort-based paths. OpenEdX is built for this, with flexible scheduling, modular learning paths, and immediate certification. What's missing are smoother workflows and automate experiences. These aren't predictions, these are active transformations. OpenEdX is not a static product, it's an ecosystem. We don't have every feature, and that's precisely the opportunity. Because together we can build what's missing. So let's make it up and let's make it real.
Let's make it real. So, what do you think? Are these trends actually something that you're aware of, something that you think we should implement in our pathways? I would love to hear some of your ideas in terms of how we can get better aligned with these specific trends. And I know it will be a huge discussion around AI, so be careful with your comments. We have short time, but I don't know. Il, did you want to say something maybe regarding
Still processing. Well, I was looking at the credentialing, and to be honest, I don't remember all the points made there, but I still think that we have to come up with ways to demonstrate value around credentialing, because I don't know that employers really find value in like a credly badge, so to speak. So I think we have a long way to go in terms of sort of standing behind saying, hey, this content means this learner is capable of X, and this certification proves it. And I think that a lot of that is on the, course authors and the organizations actually building out the content, making sure that it really maps to skills that are needed in the workplace. So.
Totally agree. I don't know. I know you, Ed, you're here. What do you think about the CVE? I know Axim is getting very aligned with the CVE format. So I don't know if you have any comments regarding that trend.
Yeah, and actually I saw Mike Hassett here, who is from WGU, who knows a lot more about about CVE than I do. But I think the reason we've been focused on things like libraries and taxonomies is because they support CVE pedagogy, but also create fundamental building blocks that can be used in many, many different ways across the ecosystem. So this community of people can compose those in different ways to do all kinds of interesting things. Back to Ildi's point, though, I think if we look at what we really need, there's this comprehensive ecosystem from learning to employment that involves lots of things we don't have direct control over, like somebody deciding where credentials should go in the United States or even in Europe, which is ahead of the US, but still fragmented. So I think we need to, our challenge is figuring out where to invest so that we're ready and also then pushing some of these organizations to coalesce in a way that this dream can come into reality.
Totally true. I agree. So let's jump to the next phase. We're going to tell you a little bit more about this story. Let's say that this presentation is made with the business development group. Maybe you are not very aware, but we have different kind of groups. And this was created recently by some of the team members we are here right now in this presentation. So everything actually started in 2023 when we conduct a market analysis. We wanted to know where we are, how many instances were around the world, because we say every time we have 10 million learners around the world, but where are they? We don't know. So we start making a market analysis and we conduct a research. And after that, we realized that we need more feedback from the people that is actually involved with the ecosystem. So we made a workshop on the last year in Africa where we conduct a SWOT analysis. We get a feedback from many people that was in the workshop and the presentation. And at the end, we realized that we are very well positioned to do many things, but still we realize that there are some things that lack and need creators and people doing things. So that's why we create this specific group to have strategies and to implement them. Then we have the focus group proposals. And right now in the BizDev, we have some specific subgroups that we are, or let's say verticals that we are working on. So we have the brand and market visibility initiatives that are, of course, related to increase our brand and presence around the world. So like creating different public instance directories, we have start tracking developments globally, we have design a segmentation strategy. You know, with Annabelle's, we also have a better perspective of the opportunities we have into the market. We have strategically start trying to partner with other organizations and mapping who they are, because they are very important for the ecosystem. So we have created a matrix to measure the impact, to know who they are and try to initiate conversations with them. Also, something which is very interesting in the BizDev group is that we have right now ways to monitor the RFPs globally for the different vendors. And we are getting more knowledge in terms of how we can proactively participate on those projects and increase our presence. Also, we are working with innovation and differentiation. So we are focusing on AI, analytics, and the user experience, working closely with the product working group. So we are aligned on how we create and how we promote it. Then we have standardization and certification. So right now with Ed, we have an initiative to get a global certification for the Open edX platform. As many vendors, for example, we together in eduNEXT, we have realized that sometimes some organizations require us to have ISO or different certifications that are very expensive. So we thought with Ed that something that would be nice for the vendors and in general is certify the Open edX platform, so the vendors can use that kind of credential. Then we have the collaborative content and tools. So we are trying to unify our message, creating those specific spots to share together ideas and convert it into real plans. The initiatives we have right now that you can, for example, contribute if you want to participate in our group is market penetration and expansion, where we actually, again, are trying to see ideas and perspectives to increase our market share, to enter in other different industries, the RFPs, the product market alignment. So we are looking for key partnerships to enhance, for example, some features into the platform, so on and so forth. In the partnership development, we have recently started conversations with big organizations like AWS and other organizations. So for example, if you have relationship with some organizations that you think can contribute to the Open edX ecosystem, you can bring it to the table so we can start conversations to lead those partnerships. And recently, we have the idea to have a program which is created principally by some of my colleagues, Vineet, to bring more recognition to the core contributors of the platform and the people that works very hard for the community. Maybe some of you have received an email, or if you are not aware about the program, we are voting for people in different areas, so engineers or people that actively contribute to the Open edX community. And we're going to have an awarding in July. So I truly invite you to see in our website and vote for the people that you know. So yeah, that's mainly what I wanted to share with you. I give the word to my colleague Stefania Trabucchi, and she will tell you a little bit more about what we have done so far.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you very much.
Before we have a little bit of time for questions, are there any questions right now that we should address before we move on to the next segment? No.
No questions, so I have 5 minute time more than the others. Okay, so welcome. I'm Stefania Trabucchi. Abstract Technology is a German provider for Open edX. So because this is a workshop, my activity is now, please drink a glass of water now to be hydrated for the days and for this workshop. Please do it now. It's extremely important. Paris is really hot. Berlin too. Rome is also very hot. So stay hydrated, it's very important. Back to BitStaff. So business development group, I would like definitely to highlight who is part of this presentation, because Angie, eduNEXT, we have Vineet from TitanEd, we have Juan also from eduNEXT, and we have Nataliia from RaccoonGang, and of course our mentor, from Axim Collaborative, exactly. So welcome everybody here. This is the group last year in Stellenbosch with Vineet. We I can do it's okay. Last year with Vineet, we have had kind of the initiative to start with this working group called BitStaff. And let's see the evidence of 1 year of work between all of us, which it doesn't mean the 5 here, but really all the core contributors in the Open edX community. So basically, as mentioned, we started in Stellenbosch in July 2024. Immediately after that, we started with the 3 weeks meetings online. So please check this out. Ask us when we have the meetings. Join us for that every 3 weeks. And basically, immediately we started to create 5 subgroups. Thank you, Angie. You already mentioned it. I don't want to get in deep on these 5 groups. We have a Slack Open edX channel with active 55 members, is a lot. And we have round about 25 members each meetings every 3 weeks. Those are really good numbers for our community. We are very, very proud of it. So we see a robust engagement and broader scope. So from the general outreach to deeply strategic discussion. So with that in mind, let's move to a summary. That's my goal today about the activities we made in 1 year. We will explore this quickly, the 7 great activities and share our progress. The proposal product review process is very important. I will say some word after this slide. We wanted to last year in the workshop BitStaff SWOT analysis and workshop as well. We decided to simplify the installation and configuration process for the platform, and we really did a lot of improvement. We started to discuss the AI strategy. We created, thank you Vineet again, the Distinguished Contributor Program, a new program. We focus in particular on partnership. Eden will explore this later. There is another example of working groups, which is the market penetration and expansion of the platform. And during the last year, we have had the go-to-market research by Annabelle. So let's look at these 7 points, one after the other. So 2 years ago, we didn't had the product review process. And this is important to say that we realize how important open source contribution is, and we work to improve and clarify the product review process. Proposal and product review play a vital role in open source contribution, helping to shape the product through ideas, data, needs, and knowledge, ultimately leading the broader and more efficient improvements altogether. That's why we are open source. There is now an excellent guideline available in the wiki, so check this out. Please ask around where to find it. We will share links and information to all of you who need that. And we will be happy to support the growth of review groups and share data to help bring in proposal best practice to life. So if you have some question about it, feel free to contact also Jenna. I think she's arrived. Thank you, Jenna, there. Jenna from Axim Collaboration, Jenna Bajkowski as a product manager, and Ed from Axim Collaborative too. So the next. We want to exactly. Yeah.
I would like to invite you, everyone,
Mhm.
if you want, with your phones to scan this QR code. Please have it there because we're going to have many of these activities. So as soon as you're there,
Yeah. So basically, because the product proposal process was extremely important last year, and we worked intensively to improve. Sorry, we want to know now. The first question is: do you clearly understand now, after 1 year, how the product proposal really works? It's very easy. A yes or a no. Just please vote now. And Angie kindly will share kind of 30-second. All done?
The two
There
options.
is, yeah, it's
Oh,
not
is it?
written there. Oh, you have 3 options. You're
Oh,
right.
there's
Yeah.
three. Okay.
Never, no. I agree. Yes, no, and never heard about it or something like that. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
No idea. Not sure. Exactly.
Sarah.
Thank you.
Sarah.
All set and good? Make a sign if everything is not okay. With not okay. Okay. All good.
It's not working? Not working? Oh, it worked.
The number Angie. You want to use my phone and vote?
Yeah, but they still have to scan the code. Oh, wait, go back. People were still scanning the code. Okay. Okay, go ahead. You can scan. Whoever didn't get a chance, feel free to scan.
it's okay.
Answer. I think.
It's okay.
Is everybody else?
So let's see some answers. So 12 people have said yes, 6 people have said no, and 14 people have said I have an idea but not so sure.
Those are extremely important data. I'm happy, and I think, Jenna, we can discuss it in the product review meeting. A yes is a good data. I have an idea, but not sure. We need to improve. So we have 1 year to go. We have a next Mentimeter. Okay. Sorry, technique, but we will manage it.
You might have to sit closer, Sarah.
But basically, it's okay. You can stay there.
No, but they need to scan to the
Yeah,
presentation.
They have to
scan.
Oh yeah, that one.
The next. Okay. So here we are. So now we have another type of Mentimeter. You have a multiple choice. So please, how many proposals have you submitted last year or ever? Never submitted from this audience. We are interested of 1 to 2 proposals, 3 to 4, 5 and more. So please vote again, scan the code, vote again. Please raise your hand where it's not working and not ready. All ready?
No, not yet. There's
Not
still
yet?
people scanning. If you need help scanning the code, just raise your hand. I'll come up.
It's important to collect your data because you are the voice for us to guide us through the community, through contribution. That's why we are asking. Okay,
give
let's share the results.
People still filling it out. I'm seeing some people on their phone. Just give it a second.
Okay. Thank you, Angie.
Okay.
Wow.
So, wow.
Good. Here we have good data. So good data with 17, never submitted. So we need to work on this definitely. We are 6, 7, 1 to 2, which is good. 3 to 4, and 2 person with 5 and more. Okay, so we can improve it with all the 17. So now the next, one last Mentimeter for this product proposal, and then we move on. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, and the last one. Do you actively help to review the existing product proposal listed on the wiki page? Are you helping? We discussed in the morning in the workshop, it was extremely important. We discussed how the community can help to review the product proposal. So look at this and let's see if you actively are helping in that. So with a yes or with a no.
Do you like to?
You can come in front if
Yeah.
it's not working, no problem. It's a workshop.
The angle is tricky.
All set, all good?
Nee, es sind noch Leute am Scan. Okay. Everybody's all set? Yeah. Oh.
Okay, we have a similar situation as before with the never submitted, so actively helping. If you never submitted, you don't know the process, you don't know how you can help. So we will definitely address this in the BitStaff working group. This is why we are working on it and try to improve the process. Okay, so let's go next and let's talk about improving in installation and configuration, so the roadmap to sanity. In the audience, we have Ed, the Vice President of Engineering for the OpenEdX project by Axim Collaborative, as Jenna, as I mentioned before, product lead. So reach both out during the conference day, speak about the product architecture and changes if you have additional questions. Basically, we focused on reduce friction. We focus on extend the architecture to more plugin oriented architecture. We focus on creating open APIs and we will love because this extension infrastructure changes means for the OpenEdX product to be more plugin extension oriented. So we can imagine to see much more plugins in, could be e-commerce, CRM, AI tools, of course, badges, credential, proctoring solution, and. So what is the next activity we have had in the BitStaff is the AI strategy. As previously shown in the product strategy for the reference product and its add-on strategy in the form of extension, we are glad, really glad to see many AI-driven extensions being adopted in OpenEdX. From course creation tools to avatar features, content summarization, AI chatbots, we are seeing exciting improvement across the OpenEdX platform. So the topic was highlighted last year, it was very important. The outcome is a really innovation boom for OpenEdX 2. So let's stay tuned on this strategy too for the next year. Because it was so important last year, the AI strategy highlighted by the most of the audience. Also here, we definitely would like to have some data about what do you think about AI in OpenEdX specifically. So our first question for the Mentimeter is, what should OpenEdX focus on first? And the question is, AI for personalization or more AI for automation? Just vote now. Is it hard? Yes. the results. You will go out with the certification as a Mentimeter expert from this workshop.
Oh, somebody, I think she was, were you still scanning? Yeah. That's good.
Increasing visibility, increasing data in the work the community, the contribution are doing is essential to take decision and to shape the right direction for the product and the software at all. So happy to have your data here.
Yes, Fatty.
Okay, we see AI points exactly for AI personalization part and AI for automation. And the next question is now.
Question on that.
Sorry?
Do you see those two as independent of each other?
Independently, not, but to start with a real strategy. So we need to start with a good strategy. And we want to know from the audience if it's more the direction needed, the first one, or more the second. Of course, it can be both. But just to have an idea what is more requested from your perspective for the software. That was the idea of the question. Make sense? Okay. Here is the Mentimeter is nice to use because it's the ranking tool. Ranking, it means those are the options you have. You can rank them, putting on the top of the Mentimeter when you open it. And the most voted on the top will be the one you prefer. And the question here that we have, if AI could excel at one thing on OpenEdX, what should be the top priority? What should be the top priority? So rank the area by strategic impact and competitive advantage. Happy to. Helping authors in creating course content and learners in a way that we can personalize learning path, learning journey. So AI should support the authors first in creating personalized path, and the learners is the profit if we have this in place. So personalizing the learning path, the learning journey. It's kind of adaptive learning, I would say, but using AI.
I think we can go to the
an adaptive way.
I'm sorry, what is the difference between the first and the last one? The first one.
Sie hat eine Frage.
Oh. Okay. Oh, you see.
Yeah.
This is a very interesting. Oh.
Personalized learning path and it's marked.
It's the 7. It's the number 7. Ah, okay. Yeah. It was also there, the personalized, yes.
So the difference between personalized learning path and smart course recommendation is that the personalized learning path will be adapted to your specific needs. For example, let's say you're a sales manager, and then you want to know which skills you require to get a better job. So you're going to receive a personalized learning path based on the specific needs. Then the smart course recommendation is that, for example, they will say, okay, based on the last search that you have made regarding marketing, let's take also marketing for digital work. You know, it's like they recommend you some courses. The other one creates a path specific for them. But for me, both are very important.
Thank you. Thank you for this data. We see a good ranking in personalized learning paths. So happy to have this data that we can share among the group after the thing. Oh, for time reason, I need to skip the last, and I will do this one, the last one. Just raising your hand, that's help us a lot. Which type of AI power solution do you see most likely being adopted in your OpenEdX LMS environment? First, integrated solution, and your in-house solution, you do it, or a market share extension. So let's go to integrated solution. Who is for an integrated solution in OpenEdX? Hands. Nobody. Who is for the in-house custom solution? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. Okay. And then the last one, a market share extension. Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, the majority is for the third. Thank you very much for that. And last but not least, I just want to highlight again. Sorry.
The poll seems to be working. So why did we do it by hands rather than just?
Because switching here took time. That was the only reason. Okay, it took time. We do not have the time. There is a break.
We should write down the results.
Yeah. Sorry?
We should write down the results.
Yes, yes. It's recorded. Okay, I will not spend too much words to the Distinguished Contributor Program. It's a new, Vineet is here. We always need to celebrate heroes during the year. In the year, launching is July 2025. And please, Eden,
Yes,
come
thank you.
come on stage
Thank
speaking
you.
about the partnership working group, which
Yes,
is
thank
an
you.
excellence in the BitStaff.
Thank you, Stefania. I have a microphone here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Huthmacher. I'm the community manager for the OpenEdX project, and I manage our service provider ecosystem. So within the OpenEdX team, we do not deploy OpenEdX platforms or customized OpenEdX platforms for customers. We outsource that work to our service providers, such as the individuals who are co-presenting with me today. And as Stefania mentioned, a part of the BizDev focus area is strategic partnerships. And we are in close collaboration with a few institutions that you can see here on this board. Big Blue Button, virtual classroom environment, Credly, credential aggregation platform, Turnitin, a plagiarism tool, Ubicast, video streaming platform. AWS Academy is looking to host cloud computing content on the OpenEdX platform, and Smile, an AI-driven proctoring solution. So as you may see, the common theme here is that these are well-established, well-known institutions, and additionally, they complement the OpenEdX platform quite well. And the idea is to partner with these types of institutions to engage in co-marketing opportunities to really push up the brand recognition and brand awareness for the OpenEdX platform. Another focus area of the BizDev working group is the market penetration and expansion group that works in close collaboration with the marketing working group, a separate group. And in that effort, sorry, next slide, Stefania. So these two groups work in close collaboration with each other. As I mentioned, we're looking to increase the brand awareness for the OpenEdX platform. And part of the challenge that we noticed, because we do not develop the platform in-house for customers, we have a variety of vendors that do this for customers. There's a fragmented approach to marketing the platform and communicating the value proposition of the platform. So we recently launched a survey among our service providers to identify which marketing channels generate the most leads. Is it their own, or is it OpenEdX-based marketing channels? So here you can see the results. 56.3% of the respondents indicated that more than 50% of the leads that they generate come from their own marketing channels. 18.8% indicated that between 20 to 50% of the leads come from their own marketing channels versus the OpenEdX related channels. And then there's a split, 12.5 each indicating between 15 to 20 and 0 to 5%. Yes, I see a question.
I just had a question about the last slide. Is AWS Academy the only one that actually hosts their own open edX instance? Are the others like service partners, or do they each?
Actually, AWS Academy does not host an open edX instance. They offer cloud computing curriculums for free to engage more individuals in cloud computing, which directly benefits their institutions as those are the types of professionals that they then look to hire. They have most of their work or curriculums are launched on Canvas currently, but they're looking to also partner with the Open edX platform to launch their curriculum through us as well. And then on this chart, you can see our customer segmentation profiles. So we took the last 2,000 inquiries that came in through the Open edX through the Open edX website to identify what types of institutions are contacting us in regards to their interest for the Open edX platform. And we identified that the majority of the inquiries that are coming in are from for-profit organizations looking to engage or enroll professional training programs to upskill or reskill staff. So that's 20.7%. Followed by tech and IT companies at 20%. That is then followed by higher education at 15.9% of the inquiries, followed by consulting firms representing 10.8%. We have a category called others. This means that whenever the inquiry came in through the Open edX website, they did not indicate what types of institutions they were. And then you can see further segmentation between financial and banking sector, healthcare, nonprofits, governments, marketing firms, retail firms, manufacturing firms. So the list goes on. But the reason why this is critical, at the end of this year, we're launching a new version of the Open edX website. So we want to understand what types of institutions are looking to integrate platforms so that we can market the solution to them in ways that resonate and that will increase potential adoption for the platform. Since we're here talking about progress over the last year, here are some Open edX specific successes that we have seen. So we have seen an increase of lead generation volume coming in through the Open edX website, an increase in conversions that we're tracking. There's a caveat to that. Because we're working with third-party vendors, we are not always notified of conversions. There is an administrative burden for providers to notify us whenever they do complete a conversion, so the numbers may not be accurate there. And then also social performance score. This is a score we use in an application called Hootsuite that provides a score based on the interaction levels with our ads on social media and also the increase in the rate of followers. So we've seen some increase there between fiscal year 2024 and fiscal year 2025, which just ended for us in June 30th of this year. So, sorry, if you go back. The only decline that we saw, yes?
So how do these metrics account for organizations like WGU that don't go through one of these partners but do all of the implementation themselves?
Okay, what exactly, what metrics are you referring to?
I was thinking about growth rates in Asia. I noticed we mentioned that we had 100 million users.
Mm-hmm.
If those users are being tracked with this, for instance, there's probably a lot more users that are out there.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. That's one of the caveats because we don't have full and accurate reporting. That is one of the challenges that we currently are facing, but we're looking to improve that. So any data that as an institution you can provide to us that we can then internally track within our CRM system would be incredibly valuable. So that would be great if we could follow up on that. And Ed, you have a follow-up comment?
Yeah, I was just going to say, what Eden is focused on here is new folks who are new to the ecosystem or potentially new to the ecosystem who are looking for help getting started with Open edX, rather than organizations like WGU who are already using the platform and have been for several years. We have other kind of mechanisms that we use to try to count all of the users around the world, but that's quite separate from what you
Yes. This talks about, exactly, new business that we're looking to generate. Exactly. Yes, thank you, Angie. Okay, we did notice a decline in web traffic growth between fiscal year 2024 and 2025. We are aware of some downfalls of our website, challenges with navigation, challenges finding sector-specific information, for example, or relevant case studies to institutions that may be looking to integrate the platform. So we are working on this, and the new website that will launch at the end of this year will be much easier to navigate and will provide better resources for the types of sectors that may be interested in integrating the platform. Yes? Sorry, can you hand him the microphone?
The web traffic decreased, but the lead generation volume increased significantly. Is that right? Or
The lead generation volume increased, yes. But
I was just wondering if there was any like work done on the lead generation flow that would have caused that? Or?
Yes. A very good question. Yes. So in the past, we would just rely on customers contacting us or finding the OpenEdX website. We have recently integrated a tool to proactively seek leads that may be interested in integrating the OpenEdX platform. So we are running active email campaigns to solicit those leads. We have also invested more in participation in third-party events, setting up OpenEdX specific booth, increasing the brand awareness, communicating with potential leads to increase lead volume that way as well. Okay. Yes, and then lastly, we have also hired a go-to-market strategy consultant who has done some in-depth research on potential markets that may be good for the platform to penetrate. This is an in-depth report. We have it available for any of you who may be interested in looking more into this. Please feel free to come up because we have a coffee break coming in just a few minutes. So we can provide you the link and create access for you on that front.
Exactly, and because the next break is starting soon, half an hour, so we just want to say that we learned a lot during 1 year of work, very intensively. You saw from the beginning how many participants we have. The takeaway is always about collaboration, contribution, open source across all the actors that we have here. So you belong to these from Axim, service partners, stakeholder, external partner users, and of course the community. So we need always the clear scope, and we want to build the trust with all of you. So let's keep moving forward, and another year together with you, with humor, with heart, and good open APIs. So happy to see you next year again. So just one quick information for after that. So we have a break, and we would love to see you here back again. Why? Because we have 3 presenters. We want to show Juan will present the global footprint. That's extremely important to see where we are in the world. We have Nataliia. Nataliia will speak about competitors' solutions. Where can we position our OpenEdX inside the contribution? And Vineet will help us to reflect on all this data we collected today. So happy to see you in half an hour here. Bring water. We will have another exercise, but we will not say what is it.
If you want to leave your backpacks here, feel free to do so because we'll be here. So
yeah, we take care. Leave everything here.
Hey, hello everybody. Thanks for coming back. How's your coffee? So for most of you should know me probably, but my name is Juan Montoya anyhow. I'm with eduNEXT, and as it was indicated, we're going to do this part of the presentation about the Global Footprint Report. But first, I was asked to make a little pitch because the responses of the previous mentee indicated that some people is not still aware with the open source contributions or product development ideas for the OpenEdX community. I was asked to share a little bit about this page. For those of you that don't know it, please take note. This is part of the OpenEdX wiki in the Atlassian system. and it's how to submit an open source contribution project for review, for product review. So it's super easy to find, and that's the place to start to get acquainted with this project and understand, sorry, with this process and understand the details and how to go about it. Right. So let's get started with the next part of our workshop. Basically, we're going to be talking about the latest results out of the what we call the OpenEdX Global Impact Report. In this case is 2024-2025. Because, sorry, this is an exercise that we have been doing for more than 1 year already. This is the 3rd edition. We started and we presented the first results in Stellenbosch last year in South Africa, in a similar setting as this, in the business development workshop. And that was aggregating data all the way until May 2022. Then we did an update of the information based on aggregated data all the way until December 2024 in order to submit that as an input for the yearly report of the OpenEdX platform. And this time around, what I'm presenting today is the updated report with information all the way up to May 2025. So 3rd edition of the report, and it's, as you can imagine, an evolving initiative, an evolving understanding of the footprint of the platform around the world. In this third edition, we have been refining the methodology. We have been improving the kind of analysis that we can do. So I'm just going to give a quick update. Perhaps some of you remember or saw the talk last year and remember some of the methodology, but I will give you a quick update. So the first thing, it's a start. It's basically, the whole purpose of the project is basically to map, track, and try to profile the list of institutions, organizations, initiatives that use the OpenEdX platform worldwide, to as much as we can discover about them. It's just public information that's available on their website, but it's really hard to get. So the first part starts with that data discovery, aggregation, and duplication. We take hints from multiple sources, and we aggregate all that data, and we do a lot of cleanup. Some of the sources include technology profilers, so there's specialized tools that are present in many places in the web trying to collect technology profiling of the sites to tell you what technologies they use. So Axim Collaborative pays for those tools and collects those reports. And we also have another sources, like us providers. We keep track on all the initiatives that are of interest for us. So we aggregate some of that data, and we carry on the databases from one exercise to the next. So we have data from previous years. And there is a survey report feature inside the platform, so if you may know, that actually helps also collecting some of this information if the OpenEdX administrator so chooses to do. So we, first of all, take all that data. In this case, it added up to 6,110 different potential domains that apparently were, or there were hints that they were part of the OpenEdX ecosystem or using the OpenEdX technology. So the first thing we do is deduplication, removing things that do not belong. So for example, a single platform in OpenEdX can have multiple endpoints. So I have lms.myinitiative.org, but I also have preview.lms.myinitiative. So I need to discard that one. Or I have studio.myinitiative.org. That's a redundancy. I don't need that. So clean up with different techniques and different criteria. We narrowed that down to 4,521 in this case. And then we answer the first question. Is the initiative active right now? So the strategy is simple. Just HTTP request and see what comes out. If it's an error, if it's a 404, we discard it. If it's a response, we take it. It is active. That narrows it down, in this case, to 2,649. Then the next question is it OpenEdX? That's challenging. It can be a Moodle site. It can be some other website. If it is in our list, there are hints that it was OpenEdX at some point, but it's not necessarily OpenEdX now. So we have a number of techniques again. We check out the heartbeat. That's a particular URL of the platform that gives us some clues. We take a look at different HTML markers, and we take a look at API endpoints to actually figure out one by one and infer if they are OpenEdX or not. That narrows it down to 2,327. And then this is new. This year I did this final filtering. Is it of interest? That implied that I rule out or I take out of the list some of the sites that are provider-specific staging environments of sorts or demo things, demo3.eduNEXT. This is not important .net. Okay, that's not important for my analysis, right? So most provider-related stuff, it's removed, and clear demos that are just demonstrative things are removed. And we landed at the, what I call the big, beautiful list of 2,250 sites. This is the BBL, the big, beautiful list. We're going to be working with that list all the time. I know. This is a reference for our US-based friends. I know it's hateful. All right, so that's up from last year's. It was 1,988, so 1,988. So it's about 13% increase from last year. But that's what we have to work with. Then for the next part, what are we going to do with this list? We're going to do profiling. Two different types of profiling. The first one is purely like OpenEdX focused profiling. So because we know in depth about the OpenEdX platform, we're going to try and figure out whatever we can out of web scraping, the available web pages, HTML markers again, and the API inputs. So we're going to be able to find some data here. Number of courses, what is the release of the platform is using, what is the language that the platform is using, what is the IP address, the initiative name. So some of those data points are going to be important, not necessarily perfect, some very well-established OpenEdX-based initiatives still use as platform name like platform or, I don't know, the platform or something. So it's not always valuable, but in many cases it is. And this year, interestingly, we did something new that allowed us to see how many courses, the second bulleted, how many courses the initiative started each year. This is interesting, and I'm going to show you why later on. So that was one set of profiling things. And then we did another profiling based on AI, AI-powered profiling, not so much of the OpenEdX platform, but of the initiative behind it. So this was super interesting, using the power of AI, which, as all of you know, has been increasingly consistently in the past 12 months. We went from somewhat powerful AI to like super powerful AI. So we're now using that to profile the initiatives in terms of type of organization, estimated size, country, and we collect some metadata additionally, like what is the confidence level of these inferences, what is the sources, where the inference is based on or built on, and what is the rationale, basically like the semantic rationale of it. So that's super interesting. So that's pretty much methodology. And then we take all that information, aggregate in a database, and quality control it a little bit, and then perform that data analytics. So that's the methodology. So let's see results. What did we get this year out of that? So I said it already, 2,250 sites. But because we have the IPs, we can narrow it down to how many instances, actual like different instances you have. And surprisingly, not that many, 1,095. So that means that the other 1,000 and something are basically multi-sites, like sites that share a particular IP address, I mean. But still, in many of those cases, most, by my filtering strategy or intention, most are actually initiatives. Even if they live in a shared IP address, they are actual separate initiatives that work. Of course, as the providers that do or did multi-tenancy-based hosting initiatives are responsible for all that aggregation. Okay, so that's the big numbers. And in terms of courses, because we track the API endpoint, we know how many courses we can find, in theory. We found 312,000. That's significantly up from last year's. I'm not exactly sure why. And this is an important caveat. It is very flawed information in a sense, because what we're doing here is like asking the API endpoint of each of these 2,000 and plus platforms, how many courses do you have in the catalog? So that doesn't necessarily mean that those courses are actual courses, are available. It's just a course record in the database, but it could probably not be necessarily available. We have some ways to try to narrow it down, but it's not absolutely perfect. Right. So that was big numbers. Now let's dive in a little bit into the analysis. So as far as regional presence goes, this is the breakdown by continent. So it's similar to last year's picture. Europe, it's taking the lead. I'm reporting 536 sites in Europe with an average number of courses of 71. It's just small numbers. 71. And that's only in Western Europe. There's Eastern Europe somewhere down there with 104 sites. So if you aggregate them, it's more than 600 something sites in the continent. And then there's North America, and that's the same for last year. That was the trend last year. The new thing is the MENA region and Southeast Asia jumping positions ahead of South America and East Asia. So now we have in the Middle East, Northern Africa region, 273 sites. And in South Asia, which is basically India, 249. So that's interesting, and there's some numbers, and this report is clearly available for people to look at in more depth. I can have here a, how do you call it, a heat map by country. So in purple, I'm referring in purple with to the number of sites. So you see here India represented, Saudi Arabia represented, North America, United States represented. In this order, actually, India, US, Saudi, like the biggest numbers, 200 and more. And then there's France, 121, Spain, 81, Germany, 67, Mexico, 63. Those are like the biggest. Let you guys take the photos, but still those slides are available whenever you want. And then if you count the number of courses instead of the number of sites, somewhat similar, but some surprises arise. India now still takes the lead, 80,000 plus courses, the US 71,000, and Israel comes as a player with 31,000. They don't have that many sites, but they have one big national site, Campus Hill project, with 30,000 plus themselves. There is France as well with 13,000 or something similar. Saudi Arabia also, and Vietnam, 12,000, and now there is Ethiopia, with somewhat close to 10,000 courses. So that's very interesting. Right. So, and because we're in Europe, last time we did focus in Africa and looked at all the African countries. Let's do a deep dive on Europe. It's also the biggest by region, the one that has the most number of sites. So let's see it by country again. Purple is number of sites. The green thing is the number of courses. In total, we're talking about 640 sites, 45,000 courses. And you see the leads here. If you think sites, France, Spain, Germany, United Kingdom. And if you see course, France, United Kingdom, Spain, Russia. I'm not quite sure about the United Kingdom. After the slides were done, I found an error. Maybe that's an outlier, maybe that's wrong. Because a very big site with like 10,000 courses was profiled as UK, and it's probably not. I will need to correct that in the future. Right, so if you want to see it by country, France is taking the lead. And of course you see, well, the different countries, France, Spain, Germany, as I mentioned in the top, but you see some green big spikes that in my appreciation, they relate to the ones that have national initiatives, except for the UK that I mentioned has an outlier at the point. You see here Ukraine with average numbers of 73 courses or so, Portugal, which has a national initiative, most of us know about, the Now initiative, Poland, which has a national initiative. I'm not sure if Russia, which has a national initiative. I'm not sure if Belgium has a national initiative. I don't know if someone in the audience knows. But those kind of stand out. The countries that have national initiatives tend to have like a higher average of courses per platform. Right. Next, we have a little bit of a static analysis. Okay, that was like the footprint geographically speaking. How are they placed in the world? Now, see some of the attributes of the sites for what we can infer. So one of the things is interesting for us is the version. What release are they using? And one of the things we found last year and presented is that many initiatives, like 60% of them, were using old versions, like Hawthorne, even all the way through Hawthorne, which is a 2000, I don't know, 1700 something version. Like in technology, that's true, right? And unfortunately, that trend hasn't changed. We found 55%, which is a high percentage of the initiatives are still in all the way from Hawthorne, Juniper, Koa, Ironwood, and up until Nutmeg. That seems to be still like a blocker, like it's really hard to overcome that. And if you see in this graph, I presented also the information from last year, the purple one, or the light purple, it's two purples. The light purple is 2024, and the darker purple is 2025. So if you see the older versions here, they don't really change that much. Like those initiatives are not really upgrading. Even the Nutmeg initiatives. but then the olives and the palms of the world are upgraded. You see less olives, less palms, and more, of course, more quinces, more redwoods, more sumac. That is, to me, a good sign that those are the initiatives that are actually catching up with the technology, and a confirmation of my theory that a lot of the ones, the previous, like Nutmeg and Prior, are still like lag behind. They are stranded there to some extent. Right, so something interesting that happened as well is that there was a significant reduction in the ones that we weren't able to identify what version it was. Last year it was 200, now it's 109. So it probably speaks to our better ability to like profiling them. That can be an option. Or they just closed down. Some of those that were weird initiatives that were enough so that we couldn't even figure out what version they were. Probably they didn't survive the, I don't know, the passage of time. I don't know. Right, so that's version release. Now, in terms of size, it is hard to estimate the size. Ideally, we want to know how many people do these initiatives impact, how many certificates they produce, how many enrollments do they have. That would be ideal. But we don't live in the ideal world, we live in the real world. We know how many sites how many courses the API says that they have offered, which is very imperfect. But based on that information, we have this breakdown, this frequency graph. So a number of very large initiatives, 66 actually, with average of 3,600 courses. You have initiatives of 30,000 courses, 10,000 courses in the single initiative. A few of them, in total 66, averaging 3,600. Then the next category is 246 that qualify as large, with an average of 312 courses. Then you have the small ones, like 566 medium, let's say, with an average of 39 courses. And then the really small one, like 682, that average 6 courses, and 690 that average 1 or less than 1, like 0 or 1 course, an average of 0.7 actually. So that trend is very similar to what we found last year. That's the apparent reality of the situation right now. Right, so that's similar to what we did last year in terms of the whole analysis, with some improvements out of the refined methods and out of AI. But as I mentioned, this time around, we were able to do something new and interesting, which is a dynamic analysis. So what we did, for those of you that are aware of the way the course API endpoint works, typically if you call that API endpoint, it will tell you, I have these much numbers of courses in my catalog. We used to rely on that data. But what we did this time around was, because you can start paginating and collect each of the pages of the different courses, Felipe actually helped me build a script that actually goes into each of those pages sequentially and into each of those courses and parses the information that the API provides and collects the date, specifically the year of when this course was released, was launched. So we collected all that information and make all those frequency graphs in order to make more of a dynamic analysis. What's going on over time? And that's super interesting, I think. So the first part, this graph, it's about how many initiatives have launched courses over the years to see if it's a growing trend, it's a growing trend, what's going on, right? So this is the numbers, basically. It's a growing trend for the past 12 years, year over year. There's more initiatives that by these metrics are launching courses. There was a peak during the pandemic. You can see it in the graph, and then it slowed down a little bit, but not so much. It still grows. And the apparent slowdown that you see at the end is not real, because that's 2025. We still have 7 months to go, right? So this one, don't worry about that data point. It will probably grow in the next 7 months and continue like an upward trend. That's interesting. And if you see the level, it's like over 1,000. Over 1,000, more or less, different initiatives are actually launching at least one course during each year. Go ahead. Right, perfect. Yeah, more than enough. Good. Right, so how about how many courses are they launching? So we mentioned how many initiatives were launching courses. This graph is how many courses are they launching. So again, this is upward trends over the years, but not so clear that it's coming up in the next 4 years maybe. It's probably staying still, staying at a constant level, somewhat around 50,000 year per courses. Again, I can make the disclaimer enough times. It's not necessarily there's 50,000 real new complete courses, just 50,000 records in the course databases aggregated, right? But it somewhat speaks to the number of production that the whole platform is having, worldwide. We did an interesting thing where we profiled here by type of organization to see if some types of organizations were growing and others were slowing down. I don't know if you can see enough the titles or the colors are distinct enough, but I can break it down a little bit for you. There is an increase in higher education, which is the red one. You see that over time, higher education is apparently growing the number of courses that they produce. And a decrease in government, which is the yellow one. No, sorry, the orange one. The orange one, the second layer from bottom to top. That's government, seems to be declining, the number of courses published by government initiatives. And also online academies, which is the green one. It's apparently going down. And corporate seems to be like kind of stable. Corporate is the yellow one in the bottom. It doesn't seem to be decreasing too much. Good. And the aggregate, of course, if you put the cumulative numbers of all these courses, it just goes up and up because of the cumulative factor, right? And to wrap up, I have the last one, which is about these initiatives that are actually producing courses. Let's take 2024 and 2025, or year to date. The last, what would be that? The last 16 months or so, the initiatives that did produce did publish courses. I made the calculations, and as it turns out, 48.4 of the sites, the total sites that we have, the big beautiful list, did not launch any new course, 2024 or 2025. To my understanding, that means they are inactive. They are not really doing anything. It's been 16 months and they have not launched any particular course. It may be wrong because it may be a great course that it's 3 years ago and hasn't need to be renewed, but I would assume that they are mostly standing still. And 11.9, basically 12% did launch courses, but they did launch courses. This is the red piece of the pie. They are shrinking because they did launch courses during this period, but less than half what they used to publish. Like their peak year was more than double what they launched in this latest period. And the blue ones are 40% about, which launched courses at least half or more or of half what they used to launch in their peak period. Probably the peak period was the pandemic. So we came up with this way of measuring whether or not they are active or decreasing, shrinking in a way, or completely stand still. So that was quite interesting this time. So to wrap up, conclusions, what did we learn? Like in general, a few conclusions from the methodology perspective. Profiling is important, but it's really hard still. There's a lot of headaches here, like the fact that OpenEdX has a headless configuration is challenging. Many people just put in front of OpenEdX some WordPress thing or some Richie thing or some other thing that hides OpenEdX behind, and it's really hard to figure that out sometimes, like at scale, like iteratively, automatically. And multi-tenancy is really challenging because there are some crazy providers that put like 500 sites in the same IP, and that makes everything very complicated. eduNEXT is a big culprit of that. And then as lessons learned, I think we can do efforts as a community to improve this, make it easier. We would need the coordination by Axim because otherwise this doesn't work by Axim. But if we did have that, we could have higher quality or reviews of this information, quality controls, that would help. And if we did some modifications, some improvements to the features that the platform has, the API endpoints specifically, and the survey reports, I think we'll be able to get much better, precise information about it. So hopefully that's something that we can bring as part of the conversation. Second conclusion, the methodology, the reasoning from AI is really powerful, really important. It helps a lot. And it's not very absolutely precise. It's not absolutely perfect every time, but we quality controlled a lot. We know a lot of the sites. So after AI did their thing, we manually checked it, and it was quite good in most cases. And finally, the dynamic analysis. This one was good. I liked a lot what I learned about the dynamic thing. I think we can improve it and do better every time. And as for numbers, just general random conclusions. If you don't get anything else, just get this photo of the main highlights. OpenEdX is important in terms of regional presence or global presence, distributed across the world, Europe being the #1. Significant presence of small and very small initiatives, like half of them or more are apparently very small. 55% still stranded in older versions. 60% shrinking or silent. That's kind of worrying somehow. But somehow the bigger players still dominate the growth. There are some bigger players that still drive growth and production of courses by these metrics. Excellent. So that's my report. Please, thank you. Please formulate any questions if you have.
Is this on? It is.
I was just curious if you know if it's possible to attribute the versions that upgraded so that we can in the future figure out whether versions have any specific blockers or causes for people staying on stale releases.
I think we have the data for doing a deeper analysis on that migration phenomenon. We didn't this time, but data is there. We could. We have some theories of the things. Basically, technically, it's very challenging to move from non-Kubernetes to Kubernetes and non-MFEs to MFEs. And the biggest spike in Nutmeg is totally, not totally, but 90% open eduNEXT fault, because we have the big instance with multi-tenancy with hundreds and hundreds of sites in that Nutmeg. And that feels the stranded effect. Like, we haven't been able, and I don't think we're going to ever migrate that into a Nutmeg or the Sumacs of the world. Sorry, from Nutmeg to the Sumac or newest version, unfortunately.
Is the usage data that you track like publicly available as a resource, or it's a one-off impact report per year?
Yeah, like, it is not yearly usage. It's a proxy to usage because it's number of courses that exposed to be released in a particular year, and the report is public for analysis. I would assume it's not public right now, but I would assume that anonymized version of the numeric data can be as well made public. For like privacy concern reasons, I don't think the full thing with the URLs will be published, but the anonymized version of the data, certainly, with the countries and general numbers.
So I have a question and a suggestion. Question is, so there's a lot of insight that we can get from these numbers, of course. But then, as a community, what is the target that we want to achieve? So is it more courses? Is it more instances? Is it more up-to-date instances? What is it that we as a community can say that this is the direction we're going? And the suggestion is maybe some incentive can be created for platform owners to register their sites with OpenEDX, and then maybe have an annual competition, best sites, something like that, where you can also get that verified data from.
Certainly. I love the suggestion. And as to the question, I'm not sure exactly. I would say a combination of all of the above. We want more sites, and we want more global presence, and we want more number of sites. We don't necessarily want only the biggest sites with thousands of courses and leaving the small initiatives behind. Not necessarily. It could be huge value in an initiative with 10 courses. But personally, I don't think we want 1,000 initiatives that have 0 courses. I think that makes a lot of noise, and it actually hurts the platform's reputation, because that means there's 1,000 initiatives or hundreds of initiatives that got frustrated to the point that it wasn't useful at all and didn't even, either weren't able to take it down or didn't even bother and just left that URL there with no courses. So hopefully we don't want those. But it's a combination. And I don't think there needs to be a single answer. We can drive in a direction together, but not necessarily agree on the exact metric to pursue.
I think that your questions were excellent, and I think that's something that we should talk about together as a group. I would say, for me, one thing that's really on my mind is getting people to upgrade more quickly, because I think that the increase in frequency of upgrades, I think if you correlated when Tutor became generally available, that would be when we started to see people upgrading more frequently, and also the small instances as well. But I think we've got this whole collection of sites at the long tail on the left-hand side who are stranded that we can figure out how we can help them. How we get people, we have the survey tool, very few people submit it. So any ideas about how we can incentivize the community to submit their data so that we can use it for our impact would be, like, we literally found a site with 13 million learners that we didn't know about 3 months ago.
And I'm pretty confident that there are other really large sites out there that we have no idea about because of the nature of the open source project. So that, if I could, I think that's like a small thing that we could brainstorm and ideate about here. And I think that would be super valuable. How do we get people incentivized to submit their data?
Certainly. If you ask me, I would say like turn it on by default and put a lot of hurdles to turn it off. It's possible to turn it off, but it's hard. But it's just an idea. We can brainstorm more ideas. Sure. Anyone else? Right. So let me leave the floor now to Nataliia, who's going to continue our workshop and wrap it up. Oh no, Nataliia and Billy.
Thank you, Juan. My name is Nataliia. I'm from RaccoonGang, another service provider of Open edX. And I want to start with a question, like, why are we talking about Open edX competitors at this workshop? It's not about arguing or proving that we are the best. It's about getting clear on where we shine. Oh, actually, that's. It's about getting clear on where we shine and where we need each other to grow. So it's about listening and knowing what people expect from learning LMS today. And most importantly, it's knowing what we can build together to meet those expectations. Okay, so what are the real competitors? When we think about competitors of Open edX, the same names come up. We always talk about Moodle, Canvas, Blackboard, and others. But instead of comparing Open edX to one tool at a time, I want to suggest to step back and stop looking at individual brands and start looking at categories. Because Open edX doesn't compete in one lane. It operates across multiple areas, each with its own expectations and challenges. So when we are talking about competition, I would group them for 4 main categories. The first is traditional learning management systems like Canvas, Moodle, all of that. You see that on the screen. They are stable, they are widely adopted, and they're often chosen by institutions. They are easy to launch, but they lack scalability and flexibility sometimes. Then we have another category is SaaS LMSs, like Talent LMS, LearnUpon. You see them on the screen too. They are polished platforms. They offer slick user experience. They're easy to set up. They have powerful plugins, but they are closed systems, so it's hard to customize or scale for more complex needs. Another category is creator-first platforms. They were built for solo creators, like for coaches or for course sellers. They focus on simplicity and branding, and they are not built for institutions or teams. It will be hard to use them for institutions or teams. And finally, marketplaces. They are not LMS in traditional sense, but they shape the learning expectations. That's why I want to look at them. They make the learning feel seamless and beautiful, but they offer no control over the data, infrastructure, or experience. So why does it matter? Because each of the categories, they push us to get better at something. If we look at traditional LMS, they challenge us to keep straightening our infrastructure, our reliability, and our documentation so that everyone can use it. The next category, they remind us how important it is to offer rich, ready-made functionality, especially through plugins, integrations, and built-in tools that solve problems out of the box. The creator tools challenge us to connect emotionally because they offer simplicity, clarity, and beauty. They feature maybe basic, but users love this experience. And Marketplace pushes us to think deeply about learner experience from the first click to the course completion. And that's a good thing because we don't need to copy them, but we do need to listen to what the market is telling us and to respond in our own way. So how does OpenEDX fit into that landscape? OpenEDX is different. OpenEDX is a framework. It's built for scale. It's designed to integrate. It's customizable. It's flexible. It's open. It doesn't belong to just one of these categories. Because where OpenEDX wins, where others struggle. When organizations need the support of millions of users without breaking, we can do that. When the university or a government agency needs full control over their data, infrastructure, and roadmap, we offer that. When a company needs to customize the learning experience, integrate with HR system, add custom blocks, we enable that. And all of that is possible not because of one company or one feature, it's possible because of you, because of that community. That means that with the right implementation and right configuration and right community support, we can adapt OpenEDX to meet the needs of any of those categories that we discussed. Because we can build a marketplace styles experience on OpenEDX. We can make a SaaS offering on OpenEDX. We can serve solo creators. And I don't know, we can power learning national platforms with custom analytics and integrations. We already do it. So maybe you read the recent article at openedx.org that OpenEDX now have 100 million users, learners worldwide. It's a great number. So it's a powerful framework. And we already have the community. We already have the tech. All we need to do, well, all you need to do is to tell us what you need, and we can build it together. Well, OpenEDX is a platform. OpenEDX platform is a foundation that we all share, and it's ours to shape. So I want to invite you to, to collaborate. Let's do what OpenEDX was designed for. Let's collaborate. So it will be nice if after that workshop you can share your use cases. What are you building? What is missing? Tell us what's holding us back. Let's fix it together. Contribute your perspective as developer, educator, and that's all important to help to shape the roadmap together. So we have the tools, we have the roadmap, we have the energy. Let's build the future of the learning together. And that's it for now. For that, yes. So I'm okay. I see you want to clap. That's fine. Thank you. If you have any questions, go ahead. Yes, please.
Hold on, I got a microphone for you.
Thank you. WGU is currently going through a comparison of our courses in OpenEDX against other of our competitors. And one of the things that we're discovering is that given the time pressures we put our instructional designers under, they find it hard to create what they consider quality courses in OpenEDX because it's difficult to manipulate content in it effectively. So I think it is a good platform, and I'm its biggest advocate at WGU. But it is something that we're looking at how we can make that easier on them, and we're hoping the roadmap is going to help us with that.
Yeah, great. This is exactly what we want to hear. This kind of things that we can collaborate and work together on that. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, a comment from my side.
Yeah.
We are from the Now platform, the Portuguese initiative for MOOC, and we struggle to have connection with more partners because often they ask us where they can profit from it, and they are thinking about selling courses. And the e-commerce in here is one of the big assets that we have for bringing more partners into the OpenEDX platform, in our case to the Now platform. So just
yes,
this comment.
thank you. And you also mentioned that there, right? So
yeah.
we are going to
no,
take
I put some extra things there after the session. So
yeah, it's great. That's why we had it. So thank you. And you had a question?
Okay, so one of the observations that we have at Edley, and I think we've talked about it over the years, which is that one of the challenges in doing product management for OpenEdX and also in marketing OpenEdX is that it's probably the only generic LMS that we're aware of in the market. And so, for example, if you decide to build a feature, who do you build it for exactly? That is always unclear, and you have to make a lot of assumptions, and sometimes you just prioritize certain user types or use cases, which kind of makes it. So for example, I think one of the points was that it can be anything you want. And so sometimes that it means that it's nothing, basically, and you can just take whatever form you want it to. And so one of the challenges, for example, for us in defining competitors is that, let's say, if someone's looking for a way to train their employees, they're looking for a training management system. And in that situation, the competitors would be organizations like Dotara, for example, or Docebo, platforms that are designed specifically for that use case. If someone is going to use OpenEdX for their initial learning use case, they're going to consider alternatives like Moodle, Canvas, Blackboard, and it goes on. So depending on what the use case is, the comparators would be very different. And I like the idea of using different categories. For us, the categories are the different use cases. That's how we tend to look at it. And some people might be aware of the recent Snowflake RFP. They asked, for example, what are the comparators that you consider your, let's say, top 3 comparators. And so in that case, they're looking for organizations that also provide training management services, which again is not like a major focus. If you look at the product roadmap for OpenEdX, it's not a major focus. And so it's kind of an open question. How do we get to a point where we're able to craft a much more clear position for OpenEdX that benefits both the product management as well as the marketing and the branding of the platform?
Yeah, I feel that you're raising the same question that you raised before, kind of, right? Like, where are we going? So let's find out together, because we don't have the answer right now because we're trying to figure it out. And we'll be figuring it out along the way. Yeah.
I mean, it's ancient history at this point, but if we had the diagram that Stefania shared, like some slides ago, 100 slides ago, something like that. No, don't worry about it. There's actually another slide from that architectural deck, but apart from the core architectural vision, we imagine a platform where the core is very small and then many products are built on top of it. So to respond directly to what Fakir said, we could pick a single lane, and that would be easier for users to understand like what it is for. In some ways, I think that does, like from the core's perspective, I'm not sure that's the right decision. And I think there's an opportunity for many of the organizations in here, either singly or collaboratively, to build products on top of the core that are customized for specific markets. I can't tell you which market I think is most desirable. I think you guys probably have some good sense of what that is. But I do think there is a real opportunity there. And a lot of our focus at Axim has been in making the core more well-defined and refined so that it will be in a position. It takes time because we're moving slowly so we don't break any of the people that are using it today. But over time, that core itself should change pretty infrequently. So these products that you've built on top of it should be stable and you won't need to worry about them dealing with breaking changes all the time.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you so much. And now for the conclusion, I want to present Vineet, the founder of TitanEd.
Thank you. That was perfect. I think the celebration goes out to everyone in this room for staying up and active. I didn't see anyone yawning in the last 100 plus minutes, so that's a fantastic thing. So the last step is about a wrap up, in a sense. We've looked at where we came from, and we've also examined where we stand in the market, and we've also identified the challenges through our competitors' landscape. We also looked at what our opportunity space is, and what the trends are, and we should be ready to imagine where we need to go next. I think collaboratively, this is where we need to do. So this is more about a reflection of what we have seen, where we have been in the last 1 year, imagination, where we want to be in the future. And last, because the session is being recorded, we want you guys to commit to supporting the community, right? So we will be going and shifting gears and focusing from the insights to more of an impact. We'll be looking at observation to ownership into shaping where we want to go from Open edX standpoint. So we will have about 3 or 4 Mentimeters sessions. So get your phones out and be ready to give out the insight that we are all looking for collaboratively for us to make the platform where we want the platform to go. Okay. So the first one is a reflection, as I talked about. So based on your experiences, either through, as a partner, as an implementer, or perhaps as user, or maybe the owners of the Open edX platforms, based upon your experiences, what have you seen Open edX has made the maximum progress, and at least in the last 1 year, where we have improved? It could be improvements in the deployment workflows, faster setups through tutors. Have we done better in our marketing campaigns? Have we put more structure and energy to the working groups? So if you can do that, maybe perhaps we can look in what the responses are. This is it. Okay. So platform architecture improvement, simplified deployment, and there are few folks who've mentioned others. So we could not figure out how to have the free text into this one. So may I ask who those others are and what are the areas? There we go.
So part of my perspective is I work with a lot of clients who have very older versions of Studio. So I know this is probably, so just take that under consideration. But since I'm on the front line with new users using the platform and learning Studio, I would have to say the UI has improved so much. It's just a much more usable experience. I can onboard people much faster, which helps them to be more successful sooner. So.
I was going to say the same thing as Ildi. I'm definitely biased, but yeah.
So UI again?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I was the third about the other option. I was going to mention the libraries and taxonomies. I think that's super powerful. The libraries and taxonomies features, that's super powerful.
Okay. So the part 1 was 2-part. One where we had made the biggest stride. The second question of the part 1 is, in the next near future, next 6 months, where should we focus on? Where should we focus our energies? Where should we make the most strides? Are we done? A few more. Yeah, pretty much the same. That's interesting. So AI innovation, I think, is on everyone's mind that we should be looking into making more progress on. marketing and partner ecosystem development. There you go. So I think we got ourselves in good hands, but the whole idea is that we definitely need to do it much better. We got two others. Who would that be?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe in that improvement that we saw in the UI UX for learners, but this time for administrators.
Okay.
Yeah.
Admin UI. I did hear it was coming actually, so.
Hi, for us would be learner engagement. And we feel gamification is not enough.
Do we have any comments on?
Vineet, I regretfully realized I should have put other after I submitted. There's one that's not here that I think we should consider, which is a marketplace for extensions.
Okay.
But then, not to steal the thunder for comments on learner engagement, that is better than better than gamification. Right.
No, that's a good way to submit two answers with one. No, but the good thing is that Juan, do you want to maybe just quickly talk about what's happening on the admin interface? You just mentioned something is coming up. Unless no. Okay. The next one is another the live. This is kind of getting closer to what Angie had, but she had 2028. I wanted us to imagine 2026 of next year. Around the same time, it would be perhaps as hot as it's today, maybe hotter. But imagine it's 2026, and imagine you're reading your favorite news article in whatever publication that you fancy, Fast Company, EdSurge, whatever that might be. And if you're reading that headline next year, what would that headline be? Be bold. You can be visionary, and you can be as specific as you can or want. And it's whatever story that you want to tell or hear. For example, the Open edX is being named the most trusted LMS platform in the world. It's a bold one. How Open edX redefines innovation and learning infrastructure. That focuses a little bit more on the infrastructure end. We could get a bit more into the capabilities. Open edX reinvention. Why community colleges across the United States are opting for Open edX as against more commercial LMSs. So that could be a headline. Anything that you can think of that's going to give us some perspective into where we should go in the next 1 year.
I will say one funny, but I imagine next year it will be a news that says Open edX is finally in the Phil Hill chart. I would love to see that.
Are we there yet? Can we look at Can we look at what people are saying?
Wow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow.
250 million learners worldwide. Achievable. Open edX has been adopted by over half the community and technical college. 1 billion learners. There we go.
In 2026. Yeah. Seems fine.
This is beautiful. I think all the areas that we've been looking for more from the growth perspective, from our engagement perspective, from the AI into the field, but towards the end, we're all looking forward to a growth. Great. The next one. I think the last and not the least is the we've spent close to 2 hours. So thank you. Thank you all very much. I think it's a brilliant